Helen.
Hi, Bob.
Yeah, good to see you again. Seemed like we were just talking a minute ago.
Oh
yeah, right over there in the building. So now we've walked outside and I'm precariously perched on a rock next to a little pool here. It's really nice. And so if I drop my phone, you may get a little extra.
It'll be bad.
Yeah, it'll be bad.
Bob.
That's right.
I'm not going to try to drop the phone.
Yes, this is an error-prone moment for sure because I'm holding it with one hand right next to the water here. So let's do this. Let's take a couple minutes and let's talk about leadership and how important leadership is, even in just bringing people together to have these conversations. Because sometimes that's not as easy as we think.
Right. So I guess I just wanted to share a short story of something that happened yesterday. We have a process improvement team meeting that one of our senior leaders was in, and we had sent out some information saying, hey, we want to do a process improvement team and this is what we want to do. And all the recipients got this message. They were to show up at the meeting at the right time. Well, one of the key people who work in that area said he wasn't coming.
He's very knowledgeable. Knows the process. Yep, incredibly dedicated.
Yes,
but also
great guy.
Frustrated because.
Well, I'm guessing he was frustrated because he refused to come to the meeting.
Yeah, that's an indication.
Refused to come to the meeting, his manager went down to get him, came back up to the meeting and said, well, he's not coming. And I was really just impressed. It really struck me that the senior leader in that meeting went down, got him, brought him into the meeting, not like, in handcuffs and dragging him in, but you could tell that he was maybe there a little under duress.
Right. And
I just didn't think it was going to be a great way to have this inclusive conversation that we wanted. And I was really worried about, where do we go from here? How do we even start this conversation when there's obviously some
stress in the room.
And it struck me how very quickly our senior leader engaged him in the conversation, made sure that he knew that what he had to say was important and meaningful to the conversation and the improvement. And we needed him there to help us learn to improve this process. It was just a remarkable thing to witness a senior leader in that moment. He could have definitely taken the stand that
I'm the boss, you will be here and you will be involved and you will like it.
And
right?
You will do what I tell you to do.
Right. He could have totally done that. He has the authority to do that, right?
He could have totally done that. But instead, he really changed the whole feel of the meeting, and he diffused that stress by being inclusive, by reaching out to him and making him feel valued, and letting him know that what he thought is important to us.
Yep.
As the person who's going to be interfacing in that environment, it's critical that we have his thoughts and knowledge.
And I watched it happen.
Because we don't have that.
Impressive.
Because we don't have that. We work far away. We work far away from the work and make great plans. If we don't include our operators, then we can definitely make some mistakes.
But what I thought was cool too is that he looked at this. I mean, he could have totally said, "Look, I'm in charge and you will be here," but he did not at all. He said, "I think he was pretty introspective. I think he realized the reason he's so frustrated, and he kind of even at first was not wanting to get involved that much, the gentleman from operations, but once he started getting involved, and once your senior leader kept thanking him and saying, see, I hadn't really thought about it like that. I'm glad you're here. I like your idea. That's a different way of looking at this." And anyway, it was interesting because as he started to open up, both of them, they began to really, I think it showed a great respect for each other, and we actually got some ideas to make it possibly work. And I don't think that would have happened it wouldn't have happened if he would have just demanded that he be there. But he did, your leader's response, I think he even realized, okay, this young man is super smart. He's very dedicated. I mean, everybody says that about him. Mm-hmm. He knows this process. he's not wanting to come to this meeting because he thinks I already have this figured out, which is probably how it normally happens, right? A leader makes a decision, everybody else has to fall in line.
Just have to deal with whatever problems are created because of that change.
But your leader didn't do that. Your leader, his whole actions were such that, okay, I probably have something to do with how this has gone in the past. Well, I'm going to change the way it's going now. I want him to be here. I need him to be here. I think the reason he's frustrated is because he feels like I'm not going to listen to him, but I am going to listen to him. And he did listen to him.
It was absolutely a really incredible thing for me. I mean, for me to witness and for the other people in the room to witness. It was great modeling for the rest of our organization.
Phenomenal leadership. I mean, I don't know that it's like one of the most impressive moments of a leader really being strong and humble at the same time, right? Because he realized, I need you here, and he wanted him to, and he went down personally, and he also went down personally afterwards and thanked him, right? But when he convinced him to come in there, he included him. He said, I need you in here because you know this process, because you have ideas that we don't have. And so, I don't know, it was powerful, really powerful. Edgar Schein would be super proud of him, wouldn't he? I mean, it was like a textbook example of humble inquiry. And it was just great, a great moment. That story should be told a lot. I'll certainly share it, but even across your organization, what a great way to model leadership, to say, yes, you're the leader, you're going to make this. And as a matter of fact, what was cool is as they started talking and coming up with ideas, the ideas that this young man helped with are going to be even more cost effective and easier to implement. I mean, so the whole thing, it's going to be better. They're going to handle the parts less. They're big, heavy parts, so it's going to make it safer, right? Less likely to have, there's less exposure. It's going to be a smoother process. And he even came up with, the guy from operations came up with a nice way of sort of laying this out, already working on it, laying it out, right? And so instead of giving reasons why it won't work, he now is actually figuring out how it will work.
Yeah.
Which he knows, right?
Absolutely.
And everybody else in the room too was also very involved, and your leader did a great job of including everybody. But the remarkable moment was the young man who felt like he was not going to be heard, so he wasn't even going to come, came in and was not only heard, was valued. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So share that story. Stories change cultures. We say it all the time. And this is one of those powerful stories that should be told, right? We should share this way of thinking.
Yep.
Sure.
And thanks for letting me broadcast it through your blog.
Oh, yeah, because there's millions of people that now, but you know what? It's interesting, like, sometimes we get 1,000 or 2,000 people that view these things, but what's cool is those are change agent people. They're people like you that are out there and they're like, you know what? That message might help with my leader. So who knows what that really turns into, right?
Really quite
all right, cool. Thanks again, Helen. It's been great working with you here this week. And it's a bit windy out here, so I hope it came through okay on this. But we couldn't do 2 blogs in front of the Christmas tree. We had to do one out here by the water. And we're at this basic same height, right? So we figured out a way to do this. Instead of her having to stand on something, we just both sit down. It just took us about, 4 blogs before we figured that out?
Yeah.
We're engineers. We're smart. All right. Bye.